Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain, and we're gonna test out a questionable source of Honeywell PTM7958 SP syringe style today, so stay tuned. I mean, you guys tuned in, so just, yeah. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Philip, Carol, you guys? You having a good day? Tiny Wee Turtle says, I need to watch the experience before I open up my laptop. No doubt. Lots of options to choose from. Code String. Hey buddy, how's it going? Glad you guys are all made it to the stream. I won't be able to stream tomorrow because I'm gonna be driving to work, so yeah, I just did a gentle little turn there. And disclaimer, the stuff that you're looking at right now on the CPU is not the mod DIY stuff. Basically, let me just show you guys what the last stream looked like. I think I've got that set up right. So during the last stream, this is just a picture from the last live stream anyways. We were using the mod DIY purchased stuff, and I think I had it too long on the shelf, just sitting there. Probably not ideal storage temperature. I don't think there's a failing of the mod DIY product. I can't say there is because it's not stored in ideal conditions really, where it was sitting for a while, which was like above a rack of computers that were kind of warm. So I think, yeah, we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna test it again. I've already posted the results, but we're gonna test it again anyways, just to see if it can get even better. It's already pretty good, at least on the CPU. But you can see here, obviously that doesn't look that great, right? I couldn't get a nice, even, full coverage spread. It's not ideal. It still worked. And I will bring up the chart for you guys, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. We're gonna look at the CPU chart, 29th, and I'll just put that over here. So if you look, it achieved a delta, the second from the top, 41.2, which beat out KP, well, not quite beat out KPX. We also have to retest KPX. I have a hunch that KPX is going to land right around that 41.2, 41.3. So this should get interesting once that happens. If that does, if it gets worse. But basically, I think this could still do better than what it even did. And so I'm going to get another, yeah, I'll get another test done. It didn't do as well on the GPU side of things. Let's see here, GPU core 29th. These are also posted live right now, but we're looking at it placing behind the OG mod DIY 7950 sheet, and I don't think that's realistic. But again, I didn't get a great coverage on it, and it was just too thick out of the tube. And the reason why I'm like sure that's not the consistency it's supposed to be is because the stuff that we're testing today is, this is back to the real screen now. It comes in a tube as well, and this is what the tube looks like from the EBUY7, which again, this looks a little bit different than the mod DIY syringe. The label is just a tiny bit different, but I've already applied this to this CPU after I did some troubleshooting. I basically took all of the mod DIY stuff and put it on the GPU core and tried to get a better test that way, but it was, again, it's too thick right now. or and all the solvents had already been taken out of it. So I've used this EBUY7 stuff. I believe that was yesterday, and I found it really easy to spread. And that made me realize that most likely the mod DIY stuff would be similar. It should also be quite easy to spread. Felix Martel says, "Hi man, I want to say thanks for your video. Just bought a brand new 12600K. Wanted to repad my 3090. Bought UX Pro Ultra from Middle Line. Hopefully it cool my Kingpin Hydro Copper." Man, that'll be interesting. Now, UX Pro is definitely a great buddy. Some find it to be a little stiff, so just make sure when you do the reassembly that you take the extra time just to apply some manual pressure, and it should compress fine for you. I've used it with success on my laptop and also on other video cards without major issues, but again, you've got to apply a bit of pressure to make that happen. So I'm going to scrape off this bit here. We're going to save this stuff, I think, especially because if it ends up being real, I'd like to still have it. Just got to get a container for it here. TL Spitz, I'm literally waiting on an order of this stuff that I made last night to be delivered in the next few days. Are you talking about the Felix, or sorry, not Felix, TL Spitz, the stuff from EBUY7? Because it's a great price, eh? Like, a 5-gram syringe for me, back when I ordered it, cost, I think it was $18 Canadian. So pretty impressive price point. And if it ends up being real, then awesome. I'm quite confident it acts right now already like a phase change, so you guys get a sneak peek of what it's basically going to look like when we take it apart again after retesting. Felix Martel says, bought a phase change pad from G-Lid. Yeah, that's the their version of the same stuff. Basically, everyone's going to have a phase change material pretty soon here. Anyone that wants to remain in the enthusiast GPU and CPU cooling market, I think. At least have it as an option, right? People are still going to pick what they want to do. But, yeah, the more products, the better for us. Okay, so we've salvaged all that we can. Felix Martel, where did I order my UX Pro from? I got it from Middle 99. The Mod DIY Honeywell stuff I got from Mod DIY. And this stuff I bought from EBUY7 that we're testing today. And use this on my laptop CPU if it works well. No doubt. Berg's Guard. I probably said that wrong, but just popping in to say hi from Sweden. Hello from Canada. Isn't it amazing, the technology of the internet, that we can talk from so far away? Good times. Welcome to the stream. Dave, have you considered putting in a cup of hot water, maybe microwave? Yeah, maybe. I could Oh, like the stuff I'm reclaiming? I'm assuming you mean PTM. Oh, and I've also got another surprise for you guys. We're not going to apply this using the actual syringe today. Last night, at 6 p.m., I spread some on this tinfoil here, and we're going to try cutting a sheet and then, you know, putting it down and peeling off. We're just going to see if it works. But yeah, this is already cured. This actually should, if this works, this saves me time between testing for, specifically for syringe style phase change materials. That's a mouthful. That I don't have to just sit there and wait for them to flash off. I don't have to use a hot gun or anything like that. I mean, that would work, I suppose, but hey, if I can pre-form sheets, then that works just as well, I think, in my mind. Air dryer works also. Good point, Felix. Yeah. Philip Curl, I would be careful heating it up in the tube if it has chemicals, active solvent. Yeah, I wouldn't heat the tube up, I don't think. You could apply some heat to the CPU or the cooler, whatever you were spreading it on. Maybe even while you were spreading it on if you had to. But I also consider like dust particles not ideal, so there's a couple things that would affect it, I think. Sorry, I'm just cleaning the cooler here. So I should probably try and put the cooler here so you guys can see it too. Bergsgard asks, have you tested KPX high performance thermal compound compared to yours? I don't actually have a thermal compound. I have tested KPX, and we've actually got that on the... Let me see if I can bring that up again for you guys. That would be... Let's do the CPU one, the high compression, where that shows KPX really shines. It didn't do so well in the low compression. Let's see, charts. And this is all these charts are available at the Google Drive link in the description of this video. But let's see here. So yeah, Bergsgard, you can see on this chart at the very top, we've got Kingpin Cooling KPX, and it achieved a CPU T delta of 40.8 degrees Celsius. I am going to be retesting it. There was rolling blackouts in my province during the test, and so I had to shut off a bunch of computer equipment, and that brought down the ambient temperature significantly in my house while the test was happening. And while I do account for ambient temperature, it's also true that the warmer that the equipment is, the less efficient it's going to be, the more resistance for the flow of electricity, and so it's going to burn more watts, and when it's cool it'll burn less. And you can actually see on this one it was only burning like 149.5 watts versus, I mean, it's pretty close. I do want to test it again though, but just from some of the data that I looked at, it looked like it was going to hit around the 41.3 mark, but still, KPX is an awesome paste. So, yeah. TL Spitz is asking, what's the difference between PTM7958 and the PTM7950 sheets? Well, the biggest difference... Well, it's, you know, that's a good question, because Honeywell develops both as a paste. And they do also offer, I think, sheet form that they will sell to Mod DIY, but that might not be the case. Maybe Mod DIY forms it themselves. But basically, it should be higher performing. Lenovo apparently uses it in their gaming laptops. Just a second, guys. I just got to answer a phone call really quick here. Oh boy, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that was on a phone call there that I had to take for work. Sometimes that happens. There's no way I'll be able to catch up on all this chatting, I don't think. Looks like you guys had some good conversations. Sorry I missed out for the last few minutes there. Yeah, PTM stuff. Okay, where was I? I was going to finish up touching this up and cleaning it. And then we'll go for application. On call for the last 30 days straight. I mean, at least 3 minutes I was gone. Well, maybe 10, I don't know. Or are you talking about yourself being on call for that long? That's a good chunk of time. That's for sure. And I think I see, oh, that's a long time. Taylor Sharp, welcome to the stream, buddy. Serpocalypse, how's it going, man? Felix Martel. No politics, guys, no politics. Yeah, I used to have a job where I was on call 24/7. Well, yeah, 24/7, 365 for 2 years. And it was actually an in-town job, not my current role. And it was hard to, yeah, just to have like time to yourself and maintain friendships and stuff. Taylor Sharp, I don't know if you saw this, but I'm going to be applying this mod DIY, not the mod, but DIY. The EBUY7 stuff, I just spread some yesterday on some tinfoil. I'm going to see if it works to just cut a piece and then peel it off. I'm hoping it does, because it'll save time for testing. We're going to get a little piece here. Well, you know what? Let's just leave it like this. Hey, a little bit of overhang, maybe. No, my gut says I don't want to. I'm still gonna cut it into just a square. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut. So that's what I'm left with, guys. I'm just going to try not to touch it here. This is the tinfoil method. Okay, hopefully we can get it to oh man. Okay, that's pretty good. Didn't you get a big sheet of... I did. Oh yeah, that's right. I still need to test that stuff officially. I've tested it unofficially and it seems to be pretty good. And then I gave a big chunk of it to Rabid Mining. because he's does a lot of CPU applications, and I was like, hey, here you go, here's a big piece. I did keep enough to test myself, and I'll probably buy another sheet of that. It was basically enough to do, was it like 50 or so CPU applications for, what was it, like $100 Canadian, so like $2 per CPU application. That's pretty good. Seems pretty good to me. I think this is gonna work with the tinfoil. This might be a good option for anyone that's we'll see if it works, but if it does, it's another way of getting a good application. That's right, Phil. This is not the Taylor Sharp method. Taylor Sharp, you wasteful. No, I'm just kidding. You had that's still a great technique though. If anyone's not sure what we're talking about, the Taylor Sharp method is where you have an overhang of a putty film, and you just run along on a 45-degree angle on the edge, the kind of the blunt, sharp edge of the CPU, and it kind of chops it off, and it makes it peeling, the peeling process a little bit easier. So I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm just hoping it peels okay. This is pretty janky setup here with the tinfoil. I'm just going to do it really slow because it's not perfect. Oh, unless... Okay, there's a little bit tearing away there. You know, it didn't go too bad. There's a light film. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. I'm gonna minimize a couple things. Okay. There's a light film on there, and there's a little piece that tore away, obviously. I'm thinking I might be able to... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's gonna be fine. This is still gonna flow out and have full coverage. I'd call it a reasonable success. Yeah. And that's on a film that's only flat on one side, right? Still not perfect. What I should do, well, and what I've got on the way are 2 sheets of Kapton film, and I'm gonna try, well, attempt to take like a bunch of used phase change stuff and melt it and have it in between the 2 sheets, and then like roll it out and make it fairly thin, and then it'll be perfectly flat on both sides, is the hope anyways. Sorry, I just wanted to adjust the zoom there. Okay, let's get this this cooler on. Just make sure it's nice and clean. Yeah, that 400 by 160 sheet, it looked really legit. And in testing, I did a short test. I didn't do like a full official test, but it looked pretty good. It was melting at the right temperature. It had the right curve for genuine PTM7958, so I think it's real. Basically, I was just testing it before Rabbit went to use it. That way, he would not be like throwing something on his CPU that was not going to be effective. All right, it's seated okay. Now we get the CPU cooler fan on. I'll probably have to edit the stream so that it cuts out the 10 minutes or whatever that I was gone. Alright, so let's get test bench out of the way and we'll do the GPU now. Oh, and we might play at some science today. We'll see if we have enough time. Which we should. Probably not that. We'll use the small screwdriver set. It's like almost zoomed in too much, eh? Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Oh, and we've got other putties and phase change stuff that we're going to be testing out at some point when it eventually arrives. I actually have to think. Who's the company that's for? Phase change. I think it's Schlegel. EMI. EMI? Yeah. Schlegel Electronics, a member of EMEI Group. They make a bunch of stuff. And we're gonna yeah, play around with that when it gets here. Taylor's asking, what's it take to cut the intro countdown off the streams afterwards? I could probably do that pretty easily, actually. Yeah, that's a reasonable ask. I can do that for sure for you guys. I'll just cut it down to like the last couple seconds or something, just so it shows the thumbnail. Maybe like last 10 seconds. I don't know. What am I doing here? I need to be doing a star pattern. Star pattern is best. And I did not. I just kind of started taking screws out. It's probably bad to get into a rush when you're dealing with electronics. Cloud, yeah, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Alright. This stuff is the mod DIY PTM7958 SP version. And it's going to be heavy because I basically took all the stuff that was off the CPU after its test and applied it and added it to the GPU to get more on there and try and get it to melt properly. And we're still going to retest it. Oh yeah, that's that's a lot of PTM. I have a different glass container. This is the mod DIY stuff that we're saving. This is the EBUY7 stuff that we're saving. Just so you guys know, we're not mixing stuff. This stuff is thick like thieves. But you know, actual cleanup, I don't find that bad with the PTM. It just basically comes off like you're peeling some sort of weak plastic. And it actually looks like it had a reasonably thin layer. I still don't trust this test though. I think it can do better on a GPU than what it did. And we'll find that out when we get a fresh tube in. Which kind of sucks buying. It's not the cheapest. It's also why I'm hoping the EBUY7 stuff turns out to be okay. Because it's a lot more economical to buy. I bought 3 tubes that are each 15, or that are each 5 grams. So I've got 15 grams of EBUY7 PTM7958. And I think I paid, shipped to my house, like 60 bucks Canadian. That's pretty good for a phase change. Alright, let's spruce up the TGPP10. Felix Martel says, I sign a paper at my job so they don't call me. No overtime also. Like, what kind of paper? Like a please leave me alone, sign here, check mark. Something like that. I'm not allowed to do that for mine, unfortunately. That'd be awesome, but I work in the oil and gas sector in Western Canada, and when the phone rings, they pay me enough money that I have to pick it up. So yeah, and they know it, and I know it. Let's see, Cloudiac stream freeze, but music continued. It was just you. Okay. I'm glad it wasn't a catastrophic failure. I think we're not focused here, are we? Let me just dial in the focus a little bit for you guys. Something like that. I'm still going to go to this one though. Okay, I've got some isopropyl in a little cap. I'm just gonna clean stuff. Yeah, these makeup wiping pad things work pretty good. Felix Martel says, same thermal resistance, both the 7950 and 7958. Interesting. Like, in my mind, I would think that Lenovo's not gonna go with 7958 if it doesn't offer any improvements over the 7950. And because Lenovo was the first one that I know of anyways that was using 7958, I kind of wonder if they went to Lenovo and were like, hey, we like your 7950, but can we make some modifications and can you boost it a bit or something for us? That's what it feels like. I might be wrong. I don't have anything to support that theory, but yeah, 7958 should be better in some way. Maybe they use like smaller particle sizes, so that we get like a thinner minimum bond line as possible. They could have done densification, which there's a YouTube, I think it's called Tech Ingredients, where they make their own paste, so they send some to Linux for testing, and the testing didn't go... It was decent. That was the epoxy one, and then they did a follow-up one with just the paste. But they talked about densification, where they have like different size materials to fill in the air pockets and stuff. Sorry, I just want to do a bit better of a cleanup around the core shroud today than I normally do. Just over time I find stuff can kind of start packed in there, and we don't want the gap or the shroud to affect compression, so... And part of it is I probably put on a little too much conformal coating when I was coating this a previous time, so... You know, these pads have been pretty good at being able to be reused. It's been impressive. Oh man, some good little chunks of conformal there. I have a tool for this. It's called a broom. It's a little one. I feel like I'm digging for dinosaur bones now. Let's get this guy here. Good line, Philip Carroll. It's got Brondo in 7958 SP. That's what GPUs crave. But what's in Brondo? Aluminum nitride. Electrolytes. If anyone's confused what that we're talking about, that's there's a movie called Idiocracy, I think. Pretty sure that's the one. It's a really funny movie. All right, we're getting pretty clean here. I'm happy with that, I think. Just gonna get one last little scrub this way. Spilled there. Yeah, so I'll be able to get, at the very least, one of the tests done before I go. And I'll be able to remotely log in and probably start another test tomorrow night, I think. At least I can try. If it doesn't work, I can always redo it. But we're going to try for success. There we go. I know this shifted a little bit. There, that looks like it's sitting correctly. And this one goes here. Kind of like, just like that. Kind of sits in place to its preformed shape. We're also gonna very lightly press down just so it sticks to the VRAM. It doesn't want to fall off when we go to reassemble it. Well, yeah, I don't know what the major differences are ingredient-wise between the two, or if it is different. They must have changed something. And I think we're going to just have to do a bunch of testing to figure out what it was. If it was the temperature that it melts at. Maybe if we can figure out minimum bond line somehow. We'll have to come up with a test. Let's take a little piece of this stuff here. And I'm going to cut it from, like this is still a nice CPU size, so I'm going to cut it from in here. And I'll save the rest somehow and like melt it for something, I'm sure. That's possible. I'll have to look on the forums again, but I feel like the guys over on the Legion Discord that went to repaste their laptops that had 7958, and they just used 7950 for the repaste, some of them. I'll have to look back again, but I'm pretty sure there was a performance difference that they noticed. Well, I actually made it too big. I am going to undercut it. I think that's my new preferred method. And we don't have to like toss the cut stuff out. We'll just use it on something else. Oh, I didn't even really make it undercut. That's okay. I think it's still the one edge, it'll work out okay. Yeah, that's what I think I remember reading too, Taylor, somewhere. So I got stuck in my mind that they made it specifically for Lenovo. And that they probably had a my company has done something before for a specific customer, and we had a limited time, I don't know what you'd call it, like a monopoly use agreement or something, where we made something for a customer and then we would promise not to sell that technology or make that for anyone else for a certain time, and for us it was like a number of years, after which we'd be able to sell it to competitors and stuff. It's like yeah, so it's possible something like that existed as well in this scenario. Hard to know for sure. It's possible that using my finger like this to press on it, and the warmth from my finger is making the top layer, a bit of the film stick to the tinfoil. So it might even be advisable, you know, normally, just to do this and then like let it sit for a bit, cool back down, and then go for peel. But we're just gonna go for peel because that's, yeah, we don't want to sit here waiting for it to cool down. It's probably already cold now. It's not like my finger was on there for that long. Let's get some tape. Different for compliance reasons. It's possible, yeah. Dave, CX-H1300 and UX Pro thermal putty perform similar? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. With just a slight edge. Well, let's look at that, because it's not consistent, right? And if I go the VRAM, let's see. It was a lot, December 14th, I think was the last one. Let's see if I can share the screen here. Once I get it open. October, December 14th. And one more. Just gotta open up all three. And then I'll share screen. So we're gonna look at display capture. Okay. So right here, this is the ETC hash. This is the largest chart. This is all putties at least make it to this test. And depending on whether they've throttled or not, right, I'll do the other tests. That's been my methodology anyways. Up top, we've got UX Pro, EVGA second, and like only 0.6 of a degree Celsius between the two for the CX-H1300. That's the 13 watt, not the 8 watt stuff down here, right? The 63 almost. So that's ETC hash. Then we go to Furmark, and you can see the CX-H1300 came out ahead for some reason. Ambients were pretty close, right? Wattages, yeah, I mean, what's 0.4 of a watt? That's not much. And then for Kapow, which is the most intense temperature-wise, well, is it actually? Let's see. UX Pro 58.6. Yeah. So Kapow is where it's like core and memory intensive, and we're burning 309 watts and a couple decimal points. But UX Pro comes out ahead again, and then it's like a full degree different. I would say they're pretty closely matched. Sorry, you guys have some questions here. Hellraiser flashlight, just joining. Welcome to the stream, man. What are you asking? Have we put the fake U6 Pro on the die and watched it melt into a glass ball yet? Glass ball. Does it like, are you saying it like caramelizes or something? I haven't done that. I haven't put it on the die itself. I don't think I want to. Kodrian Horatau. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. Welcome to the stream. How much time will you leave to get what is it? Leave to get hard, or you squash and after you turn on the laptop? No melting the silicone. Oh. That's a good one, Hellraiser. I like that. But Kodrian, how much time do you leave? Get hard, you squish. and after you turn on the laptop. Ah, right. You're talking about the, like this syringe style, yeah? So today, even though we're using this, I applied it to some tinfoil last night and then let it flash off. It's been about 21 hours now. But if I were to do it the normal way, which is to apply it with this and spread it out and then just let it sit there, it does say that you want to let it sit there for like 15 hours at room temperature. Or you could use a hair dryer and like heat it up to, I think it's 50 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. But I haven't tested yet where I just apply it in the paste form and then reassemble right away. Let's just zoom into this for a split second here, because I think this turned out okay. I got a bunch of charts I gotta minimize. Just gotta move a couple things here. I mean, it's pretty good, right? Like, I think it's gonna work out okay. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to get a perfect focus. Let's go for reassembly here. And just one last thing, I'm going to reshape the TGPP10 just on this a little bit, spruce it up. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, we'll do the tilt test, make sure the pads are going to stay in place. They're cooperating. I'm actually kind of tempted though to test some thermal putties on the die and on the CPU. I'd probably only do that after I've gotten through a bunch of pastes though that have been waiting patiently on the shelf. Oh, Razor Fleshlight says. I forgot to read the second part of your name there. Good times. I wonder if this video gets taken down now. I only just got my first dose of PTM7958 for my GPU, and I haven't applied it because I'm waiting for some other stuff to come in since I'm taking things apart. Yeah, I'm assuming you've probably got some, maybe some thermal pads on the way. Probably. Maybe thermal putty. Have you joined Team Putty yet? Just gonna get the thicknesses right. Philip Carroll, yes, I have Cold 01. It's in stock at Snark's Domain. At Casa Snark. We also have something else. Let me check after I get these screws down. Gotta stay focused. Oh, you don't want to overcool it. Oh, were you the guy that with the water cooling? And you got to keep it above that 60 degrees Celsius for the ideal overclocks, I think it was, probably. There are putties that you could do that with, but you'd have to kind of roughly gauge it off of... That would be hard to do. You'd have to roughly gauge it off my charts and then pick one that... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it really depends. That'd be somewhat difficult to pick the right one, I think. If you ever run into compression issues, though, definitely look at using a putty instead. You're not that guy, but you're one of those guys. Okay, I was just talking with someone, I think a couple weeks ago, and they had mentioned that they couldn't use the higher performing putties because it was going to get their RAM too cold, and they wanted to stay up around that 60 degrees Celsius. I haven't gotten into water cooling yet, but eventually we'll build a water cooled rig. Always wanted to. I just never had the budget before. Now I could probably save up and justify doing it just for testing purposes even. It'll still be a while because that's, I mean, it's still not cheap. It's also hard because I think like, you know, $500 worth of thermal putty and phase change and pads for testing versus like one custom water loop setup, which I'm sure is going to cost more than $500 anyways, right? Be pretty expensive. Hellraiser says it only goes up to 45 Celsius with the Fuji poly pads. Yeah, those are supposed to be some good pads. Man, maybe I found a use for K5 Pro. I mean, possibly at lower temperatures, right? It's you'd think it should be stable at 45. I personally wouldn't go and use it, but that's just based on my testing and preference, I guess. I'll still test anything they make. I mean, they're still at the table of thermal putties or pastes that exist. And if CSGR ever makes a better one, hey, we'll test it and see how it does. It'd be nice if they made an improved one, right? So then we could all move on and they could wouldn't have to keep regurgitating the same stuff online about it. So yeah, I don't know if you guys all heard, but I'm going to be going away for work tomorrow, and I'll be gone probably 4 or 5 days. So I won't be able to be on stream. I'm still going to try testing remotely. Now I was going to look at the pastes that we have. Just 1 second, guys. Here, enjoy a sip of Earn Brew. Let's see here. Yeah, Philip Carroll's got lots. There's some tubs of K5 Pro there, I'm sure people would be willing to part with. Hellraiser, has anyone actually tested it? Yes, we tested K5 Pro. Let's Well, I don't know if it's marshmallow fluff, but basically, if you look at this chart here, this is using mostly thermal putties so far. We'll be testing pads and adding them to this chart too. But at the bottom section here, K5 Pro, thermal throttled to 166 watts, memory junction temperature 110 Celsius, T delta 82.8, and that's even at the throttled wattage, right? And then CSGR U6 Pro 109.8, 83 delta, and then the Slice Engineering boron nitride 109.2, 85.2 delta. So yeah, it's not very good by itself. With shims, I bet it would actually perform pretty good. I think with shims, almost anything is going to perform pretty good though, right? Anyways, let's look at this. So we've got some Cooling Monster, yeah, Cold 01. It's a nice package. I like these hermetically sealed bags. They're I find that's useful. Oh, they got quite a bit of stuff too. That looks like, what, those are gloves or something, probably? I don't know, that might be a sheet or something. Hey Philip Carroll, what is this? Is this gloves? Or is that like a plastic film? And then we've got a spreader plus like one of these spreaders. Oh, it's even got a, you guys see that? A little bit of a shaping to it. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, we got some stuff. We also have Noctua NTH2. So we'll test that at some point as well. On a 3080 FE with shims, it was back to stock pad. Whoa, back to stock pad temps for you? So you're saying you used what I assumed to have been like copper shims and K5 Pro on your 3080, and it still only matched OEM pads? That's shocking. That's wild. That's like just basically like, instead of having the stock thermal pads, it's like, hey, let's add a bunch of risk and put some copper in there for no performance benefit. Like, I'm all for people using shims if they take the precaution and understand the risks and stuff. It can work great, and I've done it. But man, if there was no temperature benefit, that would feel like you got cheated almost. Okay, what are we doing with the hot plate today? Well, I think we're gonna try and make, and I don't have everything that I want for this, so this is just like a for fun test to see if it'll work. But I'm gonna try and make a phase change material, guys. And today is just gonna be sort of playing with some stuff. This will not be, I might test this. We'll see how it does. But I got a big bag of, let's see, hex boron nitride, 0.5 of a micron. Let's see if I can focus in here. Let's see, focus. Yeah, so hex boron nitride powder. And we're going to try adding some to some beeswax. And we'll see if it does anything. Now, I should probably go get a spoon. So just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna put the AFK thing on, and I will be right back. All right, we're back. Just got to grab a glass stirring rod. Okay, let's start by getting this melting because it's going to take a little bit. And I'm not going to keep the temperature sensor in there. Once it melts, I'll take that out. Okay, now this stuff is going to be a super fine powder. I'm going to have to be fairly careful with it here. I don't want to inhale this stuff. But we're going to try. Yeah, I guess I'm going to cut the bag here. Oh, cool. There's a bag inside. Okay, I'll cut this bag all the way then. Oh boy. This is 1 pound. It's fairly large. Okay, so if I remember correctly, beeswax was melting around 62 degrees Celsius. I am going to try and modify it at some point once I can get some silicone oil, which actually I'll have to get back in touch with. Okay, that seems okay. It's not like... Oh wow, I think I got some on my fingers already. It's such a fine powder that you don't even... I'll just have to make sure I wash my hands here. We'll try for a zoom in shot here. Yeah, those big spreaders are nice, eh? And You ordered some knockoff G-lids that worked way better than Shimco's K5 Pro. That's crazy. I guess I'm not surprised, but I also am. Just because like with shims, I thought maybe it would still perform fairly well. Okay, so, you know, right around 60 to 62 is where that stuff's melting. And we're just going to keep that out of the way for now. Now I'm going to turn it down a bit. Don't really want to get the sensor all coated and stuff, so we're not going to really know. Might as well not look at that anymore. I'll just wait till it fully melts around the edge, and then we'll add some little bit of powder. And we're not going to go scientific here. We're not weighing anything today. I don't know how much wax is in there. This is cosmetic grade beeswax. I don't know how many grams this stuff is. I'm just going to see if I can get it to mix. So boron nitride conducts heat, or its thermal conductivity rating is right around, it's like 700 and, what was it again? 750? I'd have to look back. Lower than diamond, higher than copper, doesn't conduct electricity. It's a electrical insulator. So it should theoretically be an ideal additive for thermal interface materials. Okay, I think we're getting close here. Okay, I think what you guys are seeing, the pattern below, is that's just the thermal paste patch, so everything's all melted now. Adding baking soda and South American wake up leaf instant overclock. Okay, so I'm gonna dump in what looks like almost a tablespoon amount. And it's going to look like too much, but I think it'll probably, maybe it'll mix up okay. Turn the heat up a little bit. Stuff's pretty cool. It's not gritty at all that I can find. Baking with snark, yeah. We're going Martha Stewart up in here. Good times. Okay, well, that definitely, all that powder definitely mixed in, and this stuff is not thick at all. So I'm gonna add a little more. I'm going to add about half as much again. Ooh, that's, yeah, shouldn't touch the hot plate. It might be hot. So like initially, it sort of cools down the wax when I add it, and then I think it's gonna still work though. I hope it still works. If I ever actually, if this stuff works and tests good somehow, I'll be sure to like, weigh things out properly. Oh, the powder? This is boron nitride. 0.5 micron stuff. I don't have any silicone oil yet, so I can't... I mean, I guess I could have experimented with mineral oil. I also don't have any of that, but I could easily get mineral oil. I might have added too much. So now I'm going to add some wax. I mean, I guess I don't have to try and max this stuff out yet. We just want to see if it's going to work. If there isn't muffins at the end of this, I'm out. I don't know if there's going to be muffins, guys. I don't know. Probably not. But I mean, I wish there was. That'd be cool. So my plan for this is going to be, I'll mix this all up and get it as homogeneous as possible, and then I'm going to put it on tinfoil in between two sheets on a baking pan. I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to heat it up. I'll have a temperature sensor in there. I'll probably take it to, I'm going to take it to 80, 85 degrees Celsius, and then I'm going to take it out of the oven and try and flatten it with a rolling pin between those two sheets of tinfoil. And hopefully that works. And then I'll basically have a sheet type of homemade face change that I can even maybe test, even though we don't have like the weighted ingredients or anything. Just some boron nitride powder and some beeswax. Wouldn't that be crazy if it actually worked? Like, half decent. I mean, at this point it's not going to compete, obviously. We haven't dialed it in, but that would just be nuts for me. I'm pretty happy with that consistency. I'll probably mix it more, but I don't know if I'm going to add anything else. I'm just going to test the temperature here. I'm sure that's just climbing right now. At this temperature, let's see, it's probably around 70, maybe a bit more. Alright, so it's up there. So it's even hotter than I might want it to be. But it would definitely press out with mounting pressure. Well, definitely at this temperature. I guess let's cool it down. And let's try mixing as much as I can the last little bit here. Ideally, this would be done in a vacuum chamber as well. so that while it's hot, and I could just turn on a vacuum, suck out any air that was added to it. Okay, so that stuff was pretty hot there. I'm just going to let it cool down now. I've turned it off. When it gets cold enough to handle, I'll try kneading this in hand, just like relatively warm beeswax, and try and get it even more mixed up. And yeah, then I'll try baking it in the oven basically. But I don't know, it looks promising. For me anyways. I think that's it for today. I'll get the EBUY7 stuff tested out here. I'll probably be gone for, well, at least 4 or 5 days. Maybe more, and then when I come back, I'll be back on stream. But this has been Baking with Snark's Domain. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, great week, and I will catch you guys on the next one.